Bitch.
Hey, Bird.
Bitch.
Bird.
Go straight.
Bird. No, respect him.
Fuck you.
What is going on there, YouTube? There's a Crow20 coming at you with another Q&A. So hey guys, I'm doing myself. So every month I make a Q&A video on me reading questions on Facebook after making a post about Q&A. All you have to do is when the post comes up about me saying, hey, this is my Q&A post, go ahead and leave your most randomest questions ever and I'll answer them honestly. And I'll go ahead, make a video, answer all the comments on the post honestly as best of my ability on Facebook, and show you guys my reaction as you watch. So let's go ahead and get started into the Q&A. First question comes from Jonathan Lay, and he asks, if you were a jaguar, what kind of pudding would you have in your red velvet cake? That actually sounds really good right now, actually. Thanks, John. Pudding? Let's see. Pudding. Yeah, chocolate. Next question comes from Briante Hunt. Who are your Mortal Kombat XL mains? My mains from Mortal Kombat is obviously Scorpion. That's number one. Second one is Predator, and my third is Triborg Cyber Sub-Zero variation. I use those way too much than I should. Most of the times Predator and Triborg usually fail me, but Scorpion hasn't failed me yet, so I'm actually happy about that. Next question is from Brandon Neinberg, and he asked me, what games do you play on Xbox Live? On Xbox Live, depending if you're talking about Xbox One, I play Halo 5, Halo Master Chief Collection, Fallout 4, Far Cry 4, what else do I have? Dying Light, Division, Destiny the Taken King, Doom, Batman the Arkham Knight, Star Wars Battlefront, Black Ops 3, let's see, Gears of War Remastered. I'm trying to remember all of the games off the top of my head, and it's really hard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all the games. That's the only ones I can actually name right now, so yeah, those are the games I have. Next question comes from Brandon Napora, and he asked me, would you ever step into the cage? Now, Brandon is a MMA fighter. Well, not MMA, he's a kickboxer. He does MMA kind of things, you know. He steps in the cage with somebody, a ring cage, and boxes and kicks in their faces and stuff like that. If I had the time to, I would. But I don't have the time to, so I can't. But yes, I would step into the cage if I could. I'm too busy, and I got a new job, so trying to find time to do that is probably going to be even much more difficult than it is already. Next question, and we have a huge lineup of people who ask questions a lot all the time, and I'm always happy to see them on here. First question is Brian Mafood, and he goes, if you could kill one person and not get in trouble for it, who would you kill? If I could kill one person and get away with it 100%, not get in trouble with it, it would definitely 100% be Trump. Next question. It's more of a statement. Brian Mafood asked me, 1v1 me on Battlefront. I already did. It was bullshit. Next question from Brian Mafood asks, can David Spilla ask a math problem? If he does, I would give him the same answer as I do all the time. Fuck you, I hate math. Next question. Brian Mafood asked me, favorite board game? Favorite board game I've ever played. I wouldn't call it more of a board game. It was for me. I enjoyed it a hell of a lot. It was Battleground, which basically you have these little toys and building blocks and catapults, and you have to try and kill the enemy's shit, and then also try and kill his king on the castle. I like that board game. I sort of like Monopoly, but not as much. If I was to choose one game out of all of them, it definitely would be Battleship. Battleship has always been my favorite game. Next question is 2 + 2 = fish, and this is from Brian Mafood. Well, you already answered the question, so I don't have to answer it for you. Question from Cameron Zimmerman asks, when will you have the 1,000,000 subscribers special? when I hit 1 million subscribers, if that ever happens. And it's probably not going to be in for like another 20 years from now. But if I do get 1 million subscribers, I plan on doing something really, really big and stupid. Next question from Cam Zimmerman asking, what's your take on the painkiller addiction in America? I mean, you know, people are stupid, and if they choose to keep taking painkillers over and over again and overdose themselves on purpose, that's kind of on them. But how do I feel of the situation? I feel like America is just coming to an absolute shithole. Ask, how much wood can a woodchuck shove up its taint? How many can you shove up your taint? Next question from Brian Mafood asks, do you watch Gidget the Monster Midget? No. I don't even know what that is. Never mind, I just found out what you said. Next question from Brian Mafood asking me, when is part 3 of Armed Combat coming out? I've been waiting years in suspense. Now, the answer to that question, I have been waiting to hear that question for like some time now. I feel really bad that I never finished Armed Combat, and it was going really well, besides the second part where the audio was just awful because of the wind. I'm probably not coming out with part 3. I'm probably going to scrap all the parts of Armed Combat and remake them and make them look 10 times better. I'll probably change the storyline since my character was married and he did have somebody in his life. And currently, right now, I don't have anybody in my life like that, so I can't afford to have a female role like that. So I might change it up a little bit just to make it more comfortable. Or if I find a woman who's more comfortable to, like, you know, do things such as kissing and stuff like that on camera and know that we're not in a relationship afterwards, I'm pretty sure that's fine as well. But honestly, I'd rather change the whole story and just like, be more of a brotherly love kind of story between brothers from arms and stuff like that from the war. But, you know, who knows? I don't know when that'll be, but I will be making Armed Combat all over again because the quality of that fucking movie was the worst quality I've ever experienced in making a movie. Next question on that question of Brian McFleur, there's actually quite enough. Cameron Zimmerman asks, what will come of Eric? Well, that's yet to be determined on Eric from Armed Combat. Who knows what will happen? He might die, he might not, who knows. What's to become of Nigel from Brian Mafood? Nigel, I'm trying to remember, who was Nigel? I can't remember what happened to Nigel. I think Nigel was David's character, who committed suicide so that he wouldn't get killed by the Black Skulls, so there's your answer to your question. Cameron Zimmerman asks, how did 7-year-olds fight in Nam? The question is, how did they not? There actually have been a couple Vietnam vets who actually did serve in Vietnam at 17. I actually had an uncle who did, so he's still alive too. He served in Nam, he was 17, and then he was just turning 18 when he finally got out into the battle. He lived into like the boot camps of Nam, but after he turned 18, they immediately said, okay, you're ready to go fight. And that's basically what happened. How could they not? I'm pretty sure back then, drafting for any age around 17 or 18 was actually very mandatory. And the last question of this post comes from David Sapila, who surprisingly did not ask a lot of questions. And he asks, have you seen the movie Mouse Hunt? David, I love you. I truly do. That movie is the greatest movie in the history of comedy. I watched it when I was 5 years old or 6 years old. I can't remember. I was very young. My godfather showed me that movie, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen as a child. I had to get it on tape, and I did. I had like 3 different copies of the movie, and I was upset that I didn't get the DVD copy because then eventually my tape version of Mouse Hunt disappeared, and I looked all over for it, and I couldn't find it. And it pissed me off that I couldn't find it because I wanted to watch it for old time's sakes. And I'm still probably going to find it on DVD, and I'll watch it all over again because that movie, which is honestly the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in a comedy. Good question, David. Very well done. Very, very proud of you. Very proud. Alright guys, thank you for watching this Q&A It was very interesting to read all these questions. I love the questions about armed combat. I love the questions about my YouTube. I loved half of these questions. They were all really nice questions to ask. I will be uploading a video on the Cincinnati gorilla incident. It's probably up either right now or right after this video, who knows. But I'll be making that video real soon, so be sure to watch out for that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you join back with me this month of June to be here for another Q&A, and I'm hoping that maybe this Q&A will mostly be about movies. Hopefully, if not, oh well. Yeah, hopefully you guys join me on that. I'll be making a post on Facebook on the Q&A as usual. Just comment your weirdest questions you have to ask me, and I'll answer them as honestly as I possibly can, and then I'll post it, and you guys can watch it for yourselves. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great night, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
We gonna fall, then we let it pop, don't let it go. Come on, X gon' give it to you, he gon' give it to you, X gon' give it to you, he gon' give it to you.